your hot and techie Brezza, the Citybird SUV.
Significant Saturday in the IPL 2024. Early days in the tournament, but plenty of storylines that we cover. Our attention in the afternoon fixture lies at the 37th venue in the 17th year of the IPL, as the Punjab Kings will embrace a new home ground in the form of the new PCA Stadium in Mullapur. But the story is more about the Delhi Capitals captain that returns to mainstream cricket. Rishabh Pant is where we'll keep our attention, as well as KKR and Sunrisers later in the day. So it's a very good afternoon to all of you on Maruti Suzuki Arena presents ESPN Cricinfo Timeout. Tom Moody's had a good night's sleep. Mitch McClenaghan has set his clock, and they are just adjusting to timings in our part of the world. Wasim Jaffer, and I see you still wear a little bit of pink on a day where your most immediate franchise is back in action. New venue, change of luck. They've already won the toss. Is this going to change it up for Punjab Kings finally?
Hopefully they win at home, because they haven't. Last season they only won one. So hopefully change of luck for them.
Yeah, toss has gone their way, so good fortune to start with. And we see a captain bowling first. We didn't spend much time on this last night, apart from the pre-show. Normally you just bowl first in the IPL, don't you? The afternoon games tend to be different. But Punjab, safe, secure call, Tom Moody?
I think it's a lot to do with they don't really know how the surface is going to play, and they're inviting their opposition to try to work out what a pass score is and a competitive score. And that can sometimes trip up sides because they don't know how quick they need to get out of the blocks, or whether it's going to turn, or whatever the conditions may be.
It's a big day for Wasim Jaffer, isn't it, Mitch? Because he's the only one who said we could have a first-time champion. And two of his contenders are in action today.
True, one of them's going to get off to a bad start.
And good as well.
So good odds for you today, Wasim. But let's focus on the returning Rishabh Pant, shall we? And he's going to get the chance to have a bat first. It's just nice to see him back. Let's go back to a story that we were discussing a couple of days back. Realistically, now that the game is here, what do you sense he'd be feeling? You know, it's one thing to be cool and do all the pre-match promotional stuff, but out there in the middle, how do you sense the emotions?
Well, there's no question he'll be nervous. That comes with playing elite sport, but it also comes when you've been out of the game for some time and you've been building up to this moment. So there'll be definitely nerves there, and as we know, he'll carry a smile and like he's loving every minute of it, which he does. But also, I think that's his nerves showing as well. So, I'm sure it's a big day for him and a big day for people that have supported him around his recovery.
Yeah, we're just seeing what he said on that comeback. He's played a few NCAA practice games, only after which he got the clearance to play the IPL. This would be a different test. I guess the test for all of us, Mitch, is will we see the same fearless Pant that defined his career? Is that something that could happen in the first game, or are we going to see a batter who's going to just get the feel of it? Maybe we won't see the best of him. It won't quite hit the middle. How do you see it playing out?
Oh, look, I think he's going to go all out. I don't see him holding back at all. I think that's his personality, and he'll be looking to try and get a boundary on the board early. It's a confidence game. Ricky Ponting's already given him a lot of confidence, the way he's giving them the captaincy, and I think Rishabh Pant, I think we're going to see him evolve, as one of your predictions was, that we're not going to see any change in Rishabh. It's going to be like he never left.
It's also a big year for this franchise. Delhi is often one of those teams that, in spite of a tremendous pool of talent, considered underachievers. They had an awful start to the season last year. Pant is the face of this franchise, and franchises tend to build a lot on marquee Indian players. They missed Rishabh Pant last year. There was no thought even, I guess, of letting him go and managing the purse going forward. But if you look at Pant as Delhi's captain, he is one of their most successful, if not their most successful, at 57%. They've let people like Shreyas Iyer go in the past. Wasim, they still have a formidable overseas contingent, but ahead of the big auction next year, Ricky Ponting has got some pressure on him. I'm sure even this franchise has some pressure on him. They can't start like they started last year. Yeah.
No, they can't. They built a really strong side in that 2021 or something
20.
like
that year they made the final in the UAE.
Saurav came in, and he built a lot of Indian talent, and obviously had strong overseas as well. That was the time Shreyas Iyer was captain, and they won. They played the final. They came into the playoffs very consistently. So they need to be mindful of that, which player to hold on to for the next auction and all that. But again, Rishabh Pant is the main guy, you build your franchise around. And with Dada and obviously Ricky Ponting around, I'm sure they'll do that.
And coaches tend to carry their own little reputation, don't they, Tom? And Ricky Ponting has this formidable reputation, especially with the success he enjoyed for the Mumbai Indians. It's not quite gone according to what he would have liked. How important here is this for somebody like Ricky Ponting, who's still considered amongst the elite coaches in the game, shall I say, in spite of what's been a disappointing few years in the IPL?
Yeah, I think he's not only one of the elite coaches, he's one of the elite voices in the game.
Yep.
We see him across all platforms, speaking quite wisely about the game and, various situations. But at the end of the day, coaching's ruthless. It's all results driven. And yes, he's had a very successful time at Mumbai, but he'll be desperate to, get this side having that type of success. And there's no reason why they can't, because they have had over the last few years, a good, contingent of Indian players that are, world class and also overseas.
Were you part of MI when Ponting was head coach?
Yeah, I was. Yeah, the 2 years that my first 2 years were the 2 years with Ricky Ponting, and I always remember a speech he gave against RCB where I think they scored 220 against us in the first innings, and I can't recall exactly what he said, but at the end of absolutely getting pumped, he had every man in that dressing room believing they were going to chase 220 in 16 overs. So he's an inspirational leader. He knows how to rally the troops, and hopefully getting Rishabh Pant back this year is going to just give him the skills and the players on the park to be able to get that championship he's after.
It's almost like those half-time manager talks that now get publicised a lot more in either football or rugby, where the manager just lights a fire in the belly. Is he one of those? Oh, do you think he's still one of those? It's been a long time since then.
Look, I think the key with coaches who give that messaging is they do it very sparingly. It's not always trying to inspire the troops, but they pick their moments. And that's what I found the best about Ricky, is he picked his moments. He wasn't always trying to inspire. He was trying to encourage you individually, pulling you to the side. But as a team, it was very irregular. So when he did speak, it was far more powerful.
Did you have any of those?
Yeah, Mitch is spot on. I think, the good coaches know when the right message needs to be delivered and in what tone it needs to be delivered. Sometimes it needs to come with a firm hand, and sometimes it needs to be inspirational, like the point you made there. So it's understanding and reading the room.
It's a good time for you to perhaps give an inspirational word or two. It's not to the coach, it will be to the captain, and it is to the returning Rishabh Pant as captain. So in this segment that we've started on our pre-shows, where Tom Moody is going to put himself in the shoes of Ricky Ponting for a few minutes, it's time to present Hey Captain. Right, Tom, take it away.
Okay. Hey, Rishabh. Look, congratulations on all the hard work you've done leading into this moment today. And I think the most important thing for you, I believe, is just going out there and enjoying the moment and relaxing and just playing what's in front of you. Don't worry about too much ahead of the game. Just stay in the present. Worry about the very next ball, whether you're in the field or you got bat in hand. And remember, most importantly, this is just the first step back on your journey back into cricket and IPL cricket, and then hopefully Indian cricket. Not only the Indian crowd have got your back, the world has got your back as well. Good luck.
If you were Rishabh, how would you be feeling after hearing that?
Oh, fuzzy and warm.
So maybe you can give like a Rishabh, I think is, Hindi is an important way to sort of get through to him. Man of small words, what would you say?
Well, I would only say for him to play the way when
खेल बिंदास.
Yeah, I would only say कि अब मुझे नहीं लगता है, I mean, can I say in Hindi?
Yeah, very much.
I mean, मुझे नहीं लगता है कि वो ज़्यादा change होने वाला है. Knowing Rishabh Pant, वो ऐसा personality है कि he lives by the sword, dies by the sword. तो उसी तरह से खेलेगा और उसी तरह से खेलना चाहिए. वो उसकी personality वैसी है. Go out there and enjoy. Don't be, मुझे लगता है कि ambitious नहीं हो ज़्यादा. Take a day at a time. Hopefully अगर वो सारे मैचेस खेलता है, that's a big plus. More than thinking कि वर्ल्ड कप है या फिर वो आना है या वो आना है. if he plays the way he plays, I'm sure things will happen automatically.
The beauty of our Hindi language, you can actually pick up all of it. There's enough English in the middle. But,
Yeah. I was following.
Let's try and hope for the best for Rishabh Pant, no matter which side or which team you support. This is a great story of a comeback, a redemption. Will it be an instant sort of impact? But regardless, if he plays the whole season, like Wasim Jaffer says, the story of Rishabh Pant's return is very much being written. Right, before we confirm the teams for you, it's a good time to actually revisit a classic fixture they played out last year. The stakes were not as high towards the end of the league stage. But why don't we see how much Tom, Mitch and Wasim remember from what these two teams did last summer? Let's just, and this is what's going to allow your picks for the impact zone. So I'm just going to have a quick look at some of the game that they played last year in Dharamshala. What you need to do is guess how things went. So shall we have a look at that? There we go. Now Delhi Punjab match 64. This is at Dharamshala towards the end. Remember, there's a player there. Who remembers who got 82?
Riley Rousseau.
Well done. Tom Moody. Oh, there's a smug on his face. He loves that question. Riley Rousseau ended up getting 82 in what was a very high-scoring game. You remember this game?
I do very well.
Ball was flying everywhere. So Tom Moody will have the right to go first. I think we've got another couple of questions on that. Now, this is a fun one as well. There's one bowler missing for Delhi in that same game. Come on, Wasim, you were there. Bowled an important...
Ishan Sharma.
Yes, he's got it. But Tom's already got. So first pick to Tom and then the second one.
Well, that's why I kept quiet.
All right, you've already managed to get two of those right. So that's what we got. And one last. It's 1-1 so far. Let's see if Mitch McClenaghan can wrap it up. 94 of 48 for Punjab.
Pretty easy.
Yeah, look,
Finally came
pretty
to the
easy.
party.
finally came to the party. Look, I'll tell you what, I'm not even going to guess because I had no interest in watching the bottom of the table fixtures last year. So I'm just going to pass on that one. I'll let you guys do the talking.
Yeah, so it's a tie at the moment.
Liam.
Yeah, but you knew that as well. Okay, Liam Livingston. And we'll wait and see if Liam Livingston can have that kind of impact that Punjab fans would have wanted him to have much sooner. Right, let's go to the teams shortly and just confirm team news for you. The overseas complement was a question for the Delhi Capitals. We know that Jai Richardson still nursing an injury and Andrik Nauke is not in India. They've gone with Shea Hope, interestingly, but Tristan Stubbs also keeps his place. So no Fraser McGurk, a player Mitch McClenaghan was looking forward to. As we just look at the rest of that team, this is their batting first 11, remember. So Ricky Bhui gets the nod. Sumit Kumar is in there as well. And you can expect Mukesh Kumar to perhaps come in as a bowler in the second innings as the impact sub. Wasim, just react to the Indian contingent that they've gone with over there. I think there are no real surprises. Yeah.
No, they are not. I'm a little surprised with Sumit Kumar. Yeah, he had a very good domestic season, but to be straight away picked ahead of a lot of Indian players, international players, that's a little surprising. And Fraser McGurk, I thought, the kind of name that he's carried and the form that he's carrying, so I thought he'll be probably played. Prithvi Shaw, surprisingly, is not there. I thought he'll be opening with David Warner, so that's a surprise.
Yeah, okay, that's the big one. I missed that. Yeah, so no Prithvi Shaw to start things off with. Kumar Kushagra is the other one we thought we might get to see, but he's not in. But Prithvi Shaw, we can only assume it's a selection call here.
I think it's a selection call for sure because he was fit and playing.
And is that down to who they've gone with their overseas choices? Shea Hope gets a debut for the Capitals as well. Now, make sense of that at the expense of Shaw.
Yeah, I'm surprised Shaw's not there, I must admit. But I think Shai Hope's there because possibly they might need his glove work, depending on what workload we're going to expect from the captain.
Stubbs is also there, though.
Yeah, I think. Well, Stubbs is a part-time keeper against Shai Hope's more of a specialist keeper. He's a pure batter, but he's a bit more specialist than what Stubbs is, and Stubbs is a gun fielder as well.
That looks like Mitch Marsh is opening then.
Yeah, look, it's obviously Shai's in there, like you say, for that keeping, which means that they've had to get Mitch Marsh into the side, and Mitch Marsh is going to be more potent at the top than Shai Hope will be. Shai Hope's traditionally batted number 3 as well. He's a really quality player. Like Sim said, it would have been nice to see Fraser McGurk get there. On the Rishabh Pant not keeping, it looks like that's the selection, that's the reason. We'll wait and see, but I'm just a little bit concerned if there's so many more variables out in the field that can go wrong with your body. Changing direction, turning, running, trying to take a catch, than are when you're keeping. I think things are a little bit more consistent when you're keeping. It's just side to side or moving forward to get to run outs. So
You've kept a bit, have you?
oh mate, I was like Mitchell Stark, mate. We all start as keepers. No,
Sounding like a real pro keeper here.
hey, look, I'm digging deep into how we can keep Rishabh Pant fit
Yeah.
for the whole season, and I just think, or maybe it's because I was such an immobile fielder that I know how hard it is to change directions.
All right, we wait and find out. However, there's a talking point here. Assuming that Prithvi Shaw was fit and available for selection, is this a telling decision from the Capitals management for a player who's, once again, starts every season with high expectation? And as we just have a look at Shaw's track record, this is a player that we're all waiting to see the best of. What a start he had to his international career, just took the domestic circuit by storm, Wasim Jaffer, and ahead of a big auction next year. You wonder if not starting with him at the start of the season, as he had a disappointing 2023, could very well mean that perhaps Delhi have pennies dropped for Prithvi Shaw.
Yeah, I actually thought they'll probably put him into the auction, to be honest. I thought they'll probably release him, but they kept on, they stuck with him. Even though he played a lot of games in Ranji Trophy, he hasn't scored the kind of runs that we associate Prithvi Shaw with. So I'm surprised that he's not starting here, but he's the kind of player when he gets into form, you know what he can get. I don't know what he is fitness-wise, but yeah, he needs to get back on track because he's a real talent.
Yeah, it must be one of the most challenging, frustrating points for a coach or someone to manage a player of that ability, who, fair to say, has not lived up to the promise of his potential.
Yeah, he's had a few issues, hasn't he, outside of just walking out with a bat in his hand. And there's more to the players that are the great players and the ones that are consistent in any format they play. And that is their consistency off field. And that whether that be their fitness program, their dietary, their social activities, all those things, make great players. You don't just have just that genius on the field. So he's learning that, and he's learning it slowly at the moment. And maybe there's a clear message at the start of this tournament that Ricky Ponting's giving Prithvi Shaw, is that until you show me you're ready, we won't consider you. And maybe instead of just, it's a given, you've got to put him down like we're thinking, maybe there's a longer view here for just this season that maybe you can see maybe phasing him into the team around game 4, 5 or 6.
Are there those that perhaps are better when they start on the bench with a little more hunger, created desire to come in, as against almost entitled to start the season?
Yeah, it might be a bit of that. I think you've touched on some really good points there. And Ricky's the kind of guy who'll want to make him work hard and basically say it's not a given, and probably has told him this is make or break for you. This is the last year, as Tom alluded to, the last year of the auction before the next big auction. So you're going to have to work hard to, first and foremost, force yourself back into that team, but then when you are in that team, perform.
All right. Well, again, this is assuming, of course, that Shaw was not available or fit, and this is a selection call. So we'll wait to hear more from the Capitals management. Let's confirm the Punjab team. They had quite the conundrum themselves, because on our recorded preview to this game, the panel was unanimous in giving Sikandar Raza the nod ahead of Liam Livingston. That is not how the Punjab Kings shape up, and this is their bowling first side, so you can almost assume that Prabsimran Singh, who was regularly used as the impact sub for batting, will come in at the expense of a bowler. Now, amongst that team, Shashank Singh gets the nod. That was an interesting moment at the auction when Shashank Singh found his way to the Punjab management. But Bairstow and Dhawan, this is the bowling first 11, so that might change unless Bairstow is designated to open. Bowling attacks is Kagiso Rabada ahead of Nathan Ellis. Sam Curran also gets the nod. And no Raza, as we've pointed out, no Nathan Ellis. Harshal Patel with a debut after a big money pickup at the auction. Wasim, first up, happy with that team if you're a Punjab fan?
I think it looks a good team. Don't know where Liam Livingston is going to bat, because with Shashank Singh, Harpreet Brar, that lower middle order looks a little weak to me. So that's a concern. They spent a lot of money on Ashutosh Sharma, so I was thinking they're going to go with him. But Shashank Singh is a fine batter. He's played for, I think, SRH and did okay. But it's a good team. It looks a good bowling attack as well. So it's just about,
Yeah, I think one of the things that will happen, which will alleviate your concern about the batting, is perhaps Simran will come in as the impact sub, so he'll probably slot in at either 1 or 3, and then suddenly that batting order looks a little bit deeper. But I agree, Livingston is listed at 4 there. He's not going to bat 4. He's more than likely going to be around 6.
Yeah, there's some big ticket players in there. 11.5 crore Liam Livingston, 11.75 Harshal Patel, and Punjab Kings have brought in Harshal Patel, hoping to put an end to their woes for their death bowling. Is he the answer, though? Again, a player who had a bit of a surge in the IPL in the UAE, had an India cap as a result, and suddenly we're not looking at him as among the top 5 or 6 bowlers in T20 cricket for India anymore. He's far from the national side. Big season at a new franchise?
Yeah, look, in the UAE, the ground sizes are a little bit different. You've got a bit more liberal boundaries, far more margin for error. I think last year his economy rate was a little bit higher than it was the previous year, and I think you can put that down to the X Factor sub as well. Instead of bowling to tail enders at the end, you're actually bowling to another batsman. So he's going to have to find another way, another method to be able to be effective at the end. But it might be a good thing that he's moved away from RCB, small ground. It's an opportunity for him to go to a different environment, learn some new skills and be under some new leadership. So I'm excited for him.
It looks like a big ground as well. We just look at Harshal last season, and we do know that bowlers like Harshal, Sam Curran, I believe the dimensions square are quite big over here. So does the slower bouncer come into play? Does the kind of bowling Punjab have come into play here?
I think this ground, like I said before, this ground will probably suit the Punjab bowling more than they did it at the last stadium. So hopefully that works out well for them.
Yeah, Harshal, anyway, any ground is better than the Chinnaswamy.
Yeah, if you're a bowler, you want to leave there. If you're a batter, you want to go there.
Okay, well, it's time now to have Tom, Mitch and Wasim play the game that they're going to be playing regularly on this show and get some points as a result. Tom Moody had an excellent start on the opening day of the tournament. So let's head into our impact zone. It's going to be a bit of a cheat show, this, because the game's already begun. On the corner of our eye, we're watching Sam Curran bowl to Warner and Marsh. But as Tom would have first right to pick, and we will start with the all-rounders. Let me remind all of you, through Cricinfo's smart stats, we adjudicate the players who have the maximum impact, because that's a better way to judge their performances in T20 cricket than just conventional stats and numbers. And yesterday, Tom Moody was leading the pile. Each of our panelists...
I go first because I was the last one.
That's a good point.
Yes,
that's a good
that's
point.
true. We go this way.
Yeah. So
No, you've already announced me I'm going first.
I can
now,
change that up. That's fine.
because I won the competition at the beginning, remember?
Let me think about this. You're right, Wasim. You should go first.
Yeah.
So, as I just could remind you, our panel will pick one batter, one bowler, one all-rounder each, and they will pick up the points that those players secure. No repeats. So 9 players amongst
I'm
those
going to
that
go
we see.
for...
Oh, he's already ready.
All-rounder first.
Okay.
Is it all-rounder first?
We'll start with all-rounder because you all are picking batters and bowlers and all in all-rounders otherwise. So Wasim, all-rounder. Let's have a look at the two teams one by one.
Yeah.
Time out.
Come on, mate. Come on.
Yeah. So you've got Sam Curran, Akshar Patel, Mitch Marsh if we expect him to be an all-rounder today.
He's not an all-rounder.
All right. Then
Can
for
I
the
see
Punjab
the
team,
Punjab team?
let's see the
please?
Punjab team very quickly. Right.
I'll go Besto.
Besto as the
Is the
all-rounder.
wicketkeeper? Can
Yeah, but we're not going to have
Yeah,
keeping points.
wicketkeepers are...
So we're not going to
all-rounders.
have keeping points there.
Well, we
So
should.
would
Mitchell
you like
Marsh?
to go different?
No.
Mitchell Marsh? I'll allow Mitchell Marsh.
I told you I should have gone first. We would have finished this.
Okay, Mitchell Marsh for
Mitchell
Wasim
Marsh.
Jaffer as the all-rounder. Tom Moody.
I'll have Patel.
How does it go that way?
Yeah, he needs to be last.
Go last.
Mitch McClenaghan.
Uh,
I'm in a total mess with this today, haven't I? I'm having a shocker
yeah,
today.
you are. Look, I'll let you have it. I will take Tristan Stubbs.
Tristan Stubbs is the all-rounder.
He bowls a bit of off-spin.
All right. Are you
So
sure?
you can have Axar.
Fine.
Patel. There you go,
Stubbs and you will take Akshar Patel. No takers for poor old Sam Curran then. So you will go Akshar Patel?
Yeah, yes, please. Thank you. If I'm allowed to.
All right. So we've got Marsh, Stubbs, and Akshar Patel as the
So
all-rounders.
me now.
Yes.
So we're going
Batters.
batters
now.
Okay. I will go Shikhar Dhawan.
Okay.
I'm going to go Johnny Bairstow.
Two Punjab boys there.
I'll go Warner.
David Warner. All right. And finally, the bowlers. Tom, finally, you can go first.
Thank you. I'm going to go for Ashdeep.
All right.
I'll go Rabada.
I'll go Kuldeep.
Okay. Fantastic.
Oh, it's nice.
Kuldeep.
It's a
Yeah.
nice spread. We've got it.
Surprise.
I'll put it all together
pick,
and
yeah.
just figure how this game is going to work so that they don't beat me up, these three. But that's where we will pick up the conversation at halftime. Let's get a first innings prediction very quickly. All three of you were in the game yesterday in the first innings at certain points. But what are we looking at? At a new ground, already 10 in the first over. Marsh and Warner looking good. Wasim.
175.
Okay. Mitch.
Well, Tristan Stubbs is my pick. I think we're going 195.
All right.
161.
Okay. You're playing low ball there, aren't you? Since yesterday.
It's early tournament. then the stocks will rise.
All right. We wait to pick up the chat then at halftime after the end of the Delhi Capitals innings. And we do keep an eye out on how Rishabh Pant bats in these 20 overs. Pick up the chat with Tom, Mitch, and Wasim on Maruti Suzuki Arena presents ESPN Cricinfo Timeout. Do download the mobile app. If you haven't already, it'll have you covered with everything that's going on from the IPL. We will see you at the end of the innings.
All new hot and techy Brezza, the city bred SUV.